0FXB, welcome back to the channel. Have you heard of the Hermes Lite 2? If you're brand new to this like I am, I'll show you why I want to use this SDR transceiver. I want to have a display on my Windows PC like this when I'm receiving HF bands. So I've gone to Makerfabs, about 5-day delivery from China, and got this and other boards. You do need 3 parts to get this working. There is a plus version, but let's just focus on this one. Let me show you the board. So here's the board. Now this is going to, if you decide to go this way, it's going to save you a lot of money because the equivalent transceiver would cost you probably over £1,000. So described as the Hermes Lite is a low-cost, direct down-up conversion software-defined amateur radio HF transceiver based on a broadband modem chip and the Hermes SDR project. It is entirely open source and open hardware, including the tools used to design and fabricate the files. The Thetis software photograph I just showed you is the software I'll be using, but I do believe you can use it with other software. Okay, so you've got your SMA. There is a plus board where you can add some extra connectors to this, and that's actually in the post, but I'm not going to be doing that yet. So you get this board, and then there's a filter board, which is this, the Hermes Lite 2 by N2ADR, and it just connects to that board, and it's required really to use this legally, I would say. Now, I'm sort of learning this with you, because I've seen so many videos on this, but they're not very clear on how to assemble it, but then install Thetis. So this is the main board. You have to be really careful not to damage any components. The reviews for this device are out of this world. Just check it out and you'll see that. So there's our main board. Sorry, there's our, let's describe it properly, filter board. So it just goes like this, and they provide you, and when with this joiner, and when you're doing this, be really careful, take your time, don't rush. There's your joiner. And you're going to carefully join them together without slipping or damaging any of the components. I'm not even going to do it on camera because I want to be very careful. Once you've got this, then you put it into the case that's underneath. You don't have to buy the case, but I think it's sensible, because annoyingly there is one part we have to drill. We had some heat sink here, and then a bolt comes through, a 3mm bolt comes through and holds the heat sink to the case. So when you transmit, it doesn't get too hot. And you've got these are pre-installed, these vents here, so that's handy. So let's have a look at the case. Now the first thing I noticed about the case, there's the sort of heat dissipator there, I'll show that. The first thing I noticed about the case is actually it's really heavy. Okay, there's a spot of luck. We've got the bolts. Guess what? My case has come pre-drilled, and I think that is excellent that they've done that, because that's the one thing I was scared of and I didn't want to do, was the pre-drilling. So let's screw the end on and we'll start to position everything. This is the, let's call it the front, and the back. You've got the heat dissipator sort of lug that's going to go underneath. We'll show you that in a sec. And then you've got all the nuts you need. The black ones hold the front and back on, and there's actually 2 nuts and bolts they've given me here, and there's actually 2 holes in my particular unit. I'm not really sure why. Does it mean there's additional units? But anyway, it means you can install this, as far as I can see, either way round. So I'll start off with the hole that they've put there, and screw this there with a couple of black screws on the bottom left and right corner, and the screws go in perfectly. They're not forced in, they screw in nicely. Now to do this properly, you need some heat sink. Okay, now I haven't got any heat sink here, so for now I'm just going to install it. I'm not planning on transmitting today. So we'll just slide in the board. Okay, just very carefully slide the board in. We can see which way round it goes because of the holes that are in the board. Definitely need to make sure you're not going to catch any components. Carefully slide it across. That's one end, and that's coming through nicely just here. And then we'll slide it in again. It's right at the bottom. Now, normally, see the heat, you put some heat sink here. Probably sensible to get some sandpaper, rub it down where the hole is. And then you're going to be putting in your heat sink at the same time before you join these together. Probably going to use a toothpick just to guide it along, and it goes with the angled part facing me. So let's slide it out like so. See if we can slide it all in one go. Okay, so we put the metal thing underneath there, and we're going to put a screwdriver in like so, and just very carefully slide the unit, trying to keep it level until we get above the hole. And we'll know when we're above the hole because it will poke through, won't it? There you are, which is just done. Okay, now I need to get a bolt in there. Remember, the only thing I've missed is the fact that I need to add the heatsink, which of course I'll go back and do that. So let's just get up, see if I can get my hand under there and get the bolt in. Quite hard to do when when you can't really see underneath. There you go. Just rest that down, and then we're going to really carefully put the bolt head on there without knocking off and zoom back in these components. So what I'll do is I'll just put it on very loosely, and then I'll screw from underneath, and I won't even put it very tight for now because it's temporary, isn't it? Because I haven't added the heat sink, but just for now to keep it in place, I'll add that on there but with tweezers. Okay, it's on there, and I've not silly tight, but anyway, then we've got these. We need to just get this connector here and line it up. It does move forward and back a bit, so just make sure it's lined up. The main thing I'm scared of is when I push it on is my hand slipping and then breaking a component. That's my main fear. I'm going to put that end plate back on, which I took off just to help it slide. Just like so. Put that back on. Get it the right way around. And okay, the end's on. Okay, joiner on there, bolt is in place. Now, just to let you know, there is another board that I believe connects here, and there's also the Hermes Lite Plus. So the other board, I think it's called IO, and it makes the case larger and you can add more components. But anyway, for now we just got it all connected. We need to put the lid back on, put the front and back on. So the front, we'll get the screws in there. Just careful, I've noticed in one video that it can catch on the, it can catch on the Ethernet connector there. Okay, I did put some, let's see some dust there. I just filed it down a little bit with a small file just around either side, and that's gone on quite nicely. So you can see now it's all assembled. Now we link to this apparently using this Ethernet, and it has got a 11 to 16 volt power supply there, key and PTT there. The Hermes Lite Plus adds to that. I notice here, if you look at this board here, there's lots going on here. If you look in there, RF3, ISO, so none of that means anything to me, but there's another connector there. So this, I would guess this is that extra board that you can get. But I'm keeping it nice and simple. So let's get the lid on. I did notice that the lid had an extra hole at the top, but it only actually fits over the top of my device one way round. So that's the wrong way round. Turn it round, and just remembering that the bolt, it does go above the bolt. So let's just get that in line correctly. No, that doesn't go. Let's try it the other way around. There you go. Now that fits perfectly. So I'm guessing that they just did it so that it didn't matter which way round you decided to put the board in, it would fit. But it's definitely a lot handier knowing that you don't have to drill this device. It's quite a substantial size. Last couple of screws in. We'll keep the old bolt that's come. The board that I didn't get was the I/O board, so I probably will end up getting it, to be honest. May as well. Then I've got the whole kit, and that's the gaps that was seeing here, but that's for a future video. So that's part one, I would say, fully assembled. Quite a weight, isn't it? I'm going to put some power to it just for fun, and then we're going to go on to doing the software in part two, the Thetis software. Let's plug it in here. Hopefully comes to life. Never used it before ever. Bye for now. 7.3. We've added the Ethernet cable to the front and connected to the back of my Windows PC. Also, we've added an antenna. We've got one of those adapters, SMA to BNC, and that's my long wire, 49 to 1 balun, 66 foot length wire. Now that we've got our Hermes Lite assembled and connected, powered on, we're now going to download the Thetis software. This one here is version 2.10.33. I'm just going to scroll down, and I am a novice. I'm doing this for the first time. We're just going to click it and just run it and see what it detects. Even if it doesn't detect and set up during this video, at least you'll have an idea and you'll have the links to run it. So there you are. I'm going to double click that, and we're looking. We've got the Thetis XE there, but what I'll do is I think I'm going to extract it to a folder. So I'll move over here, go right click, new folder, and call it Thetis. Probably pronouncing it wrong, and then so we just click it again and double click and then extract to, find that folder on my desktop called Thetis. Down here, there it is there. Click OK. It's now in there. Double click. Give that a minute to open. There it goes. Right, okay. Double click. Bit laggy. And then, as I said, I've never done this, so we're just going to wing it. See the Thetis shortcut there, which I will probably pin to. Right click it, and then I'll pin it to my taskbar. So show more options. I'm looking for pin to taskbar. Nothing showing there. So, oh, while we're at run as administrator, click more info. Run anyway. You got the little symbol there. Allow that. Wow, and it does all this. Now let's just watch it. A lot to do. Now the device I've got is plugged into my broadband router, which is active. It's not showing up in my network search at the moment, which I've looked. It's definitely not showing up at all as another wired connection, but that's okay. I've been on the Facebook group as well, Hermes Lite, getting some tips. That always helps. That's the release we're doing, so I'm just sat here watching what's happening. There's the Facebook group. That's my assembled Lite 2. I'm going to get the plus for it and the I/O board. And you can see there now it says planning complex forward FFT size. I'm just going to wait until it stops doing it. And the reason I was interested in this device is purely because of, you know, this on the left here, you can see the kind of, you know, display you get, and the reviews that I've read are showing that this, you know, once correctly configured, is a fantastic system. So Thetis and Hermes Lite 2, and the seller, which is Makerfabs, is very responsive. So it may take me a few days to learn more, but I'm enjoying it. So it is going. It's quite slow, but look, 13107273. So I'm just being patient. I've also added an antenna on the back of the device. There is an antenna connector, so I just added an antenna there. Okay, it just finished, and then it got us to this point here. So we're seeing this window. So what I want to do, I will open it up a bit, is I want to stop the video here, do a bit more learning, and then come back and connect it to my box that you can see here. So this is, we'll call this part 2. Bye for now. We decided to use this firmware or software 2.10.33, and there is the zip download there, and at the end of it, this is what opened up. Okay, so the program has opened up. We've connected the Ethernet cable to the back of the PC. So let's just hit the on and just see what happens. Nothing there. Here goes. Click allow. We can't hear anything, but we can see something. So let's change the mode, which is up here, LSB. Just change that. Now we shall go into the setup, top left. So at the top left, we're seeing the word setup. If you've never used this before, like me. And go to audio. I've watched a couple of videos. So general, we're on the Hermes Lite, aren't we? Yeah. So flick that across, and then we'll go to audio, and I've learnt that if we enable the VAC1 here, we start to hear, as you can tell, which is good. We've got this trace here as well. See if we can find some activity a minute, and then we'll start to learn. So I'm just swiping across to where I know there'll be more activity. Let's have a look. Is that the volume? Well, that's not changing the volume. I notice we've got ADC1 overload. Right, let's bring the AGC just above. I want to find some activity. The red line is where we are, so you can change the bandwidth just by, see that? Just clicking there. Got this warning on the right here to do with CW. I can hear some activity there. Let's turn it up a bit. Oh, it's full blast there. Let's just go. That's your AGC. You've got driver. We're not going to transmit. You've got attenuation, AGC there, squelch, pan. Oh, look at that. Okay, zoom as well, mic, compression, vox, volume, finally. And there's 2 volumes because we've got 2 antennas. We've only got 1 antenna connected on the RF1 for now, so it's definitely working. It's about as loud as I can get it at the moment, but probably be able to go into audio settings. But let's just have a little look around. We've got no snazzy backgrounds at the moment. RF, RXA1AF. How do we get rid of the ADC1 overload? We're seeing our signal meter there. Forward power, we're not doing that at the moment. It actually says VHF here. I'm not sure how that would work. VAR1. Can we just turn that off? Oh, look at that. Well, that was a lot easier on the ears. Oh, we can adjust the shift there. Vox, comp, mic, pan. Now if I just click, it's not changing the frequency, so how do we do that? Look at all these settings. It's like so much to learn. region, let's change that to United Kingdom. Apply, click OK. Buffer size, display, DSP, transmit, move it over here. Put it here, the settings, so you can still see the screen. But in theory, we can transmit. Make sure you're not missing the top there. Just see if I can bring it down a bit. Station calling CQ on 40. So you can add a board that will give you an audio out connector to the Hermes Lite 2. I haven't got any additional components on this one, but I do have them coming. And when they do, we'll install them in a video. About 200 odd pounds. Right, keep looking at the settings. PA. Default is Hermes Lite. Appearance. You can change all the colours of everything. You can import skins. I don't know how to do that yet. Keyboard. Network. I've just plugged it into my PC and it just worked. So I don't know how to do it via my. If I plug it into my router, then I'm sure I could probably access it anywhere in the house or even abroad. But we need to learn all that. We've got digi modes here. 10 meters, 40 meters, 20 meters. There's 20 USB. Well, that's a bit louder. That's actually feels more responsive. The idea is that this software takes out a lot of the noise that you would get. And it's completely customizable. Someone show me how to do the ADC overload thing. It's flashing, but I don't know how to change that. Clicking all these zoom settings. Transmit profile, don't know what that is. Receive equalizer, transmit, TX filter. Bit wider there. And this antenna, it's not great on 20 really. Oh, there is someone there. Where's the noise blanker? I know it has one. Bit of a hum there. You've got different NR levels. Notch, pan 4. What's this? Spectrum. Oh, you can really change scope. Waterfall. Histogram, pan 4. That's probably the one that works. We're setting there. Bring it across. Now I don't know how it works with FT8. That sounds good.
Anytime between 1500 Zulu through to about 1800 Zulu most of the time. So great, I think you again. Thanks for the contact. You can find the video so far.
Got the tune object. Oh, it actually clicked, but there isn't a built-in tuner in this, is there? If there is, let me know. But it definitely clicked. Well, I'm guessing it just clicked into transmit, didn't it? And I'll just briefly press it.
Who's the station? Bravo Alpha Foxtrot. I've got that much. Bravo Alpha Foxtrot, please go ahead. Yeah, I've got your plug QRP.
Well, don't forget, this is like a £250 device. We need to import some skins, don't we? There's tuning step. If I change that, I go plus. Yeah, I can scroll with my mouse. So I've lost it there, haven't I? That's a shame, but that was a good one, wasn't it? Right, I'm scrolling with my mouse now. It's definitely good. Big one there. So move that across. So I think that's enough for now. We got it working. We need to learn more. You got the drive here. I'll just show it TXing. No, it's not going to TX there. I thought it might be there, but no. Got a play and a record here. Anyone see a TX button? I'm blind, of course. Tune monitor, MOX, TX. No, I can't see the TX. It lets me highlight it. I wonder if it would do dual receive, like with one antenna instead of having to populate both antennas. Back to 40, LSB. See the way it's quiet on 40? So why? What have I got set wrong? Is it the AGC? Could be. Nah. Alright, bye for now, 7-3. Interesting.